Lecture number 2, April 16, 1975. Chapter 1 continued. First excerpt. Mother reads and gives Kuthumi's explanation of the entire second paragraph on page 23. Second excerpt. Mother reads and gives Kuthumi's explanation from the bottom of page 26 to the end of the first paragraph on page 27.
Therefore, the purification of the faculty of vision has been given top priority by the Masters, because it has been our experience that when men learn to see as God sees, they perceive the need to correct their problems and in most cases do so without further delay. When I first heard El Morya say, if men knew better, they would do better, I was astounded, because to me the way of doing better was so obvious I could not understand how all mankind could be so blind. And yet, it is true that basically inherent within people is the desire to do right. And because their faculty of vision has been so compromised in relativity, in time and space, they do not do better. And so the Ascended Masters have released their teaching. And this is the reason we have Summit University. I think that the great success of Summit University is the factor of Buddhic enlightenment. Those who go forth from here see with so much of a greater clarity right and wrong, light from darkness, discriminating the lies of the fallen ones, that without delay and without too much prodding, without the threat of punishment, without condemnation from without, they are able to correct their ways. In the matter of our brotherhood, those unascended devotees who wear the golden robe of cosmic illumination, who in truth are illumined concerning the many subjects ordinarily hidden from the average seeker on the path, are expected to perform more advantageously in directing their lives according to the instructions issuing from their lips. A good example is the best teacher. I would like to talk to you about this order of the Brothers of the Golden Robe. There's also the Order of the Sisters of the Golden Robe. And it is headquartered at Kashmir. And the retreat is very tangible in the etheric plane, over the gardens, just above the lake. We visited the spot in 1970, where there is a fountain which is said to have healing properties. And it is in the midst of a garden and a little stone house, and just above it and to the rear in the mountain is a focus of beloved Kuthumi. The setting is magnificent. The gardens all around the entire lake are manicured, acres and acres of gardens. The purpose of the Order of the Brothers of the Golden Robe is to carry illumination to mankind. And remember that illumination is illumined action. You take illumined action and you merge it with the ritual of freedom, and you have the sixth ray of ministration and service. To wear the robe, the golden robe of the Brothers of the Golden Robe, is a great opportunity and a great privilege. In order to be worthy to wear that robe, you must garner a momentum of illumination, of wisdom's ray in your aura. You will increase wisdom's ray by increasing the action of the all-seeing eye, since the all-seeing eye and the emerald ray is made up of the will of God firing illumination, blue and yellow, making the green ray. If you can clear your third eye, what you are doing is clearing another vessel for the energies of the Divine Mother to rise to from the base of the spine. The final clearance is the crown. If any of the chakras below the crown are dirty, are stopped up, are plugged up with energy, when the mother energy tries to rise, it will be blocked, or it will be misqualified. So this game of Monopoly, of going around the board step by step, is a game of getting through these 7 chakras, and getting through and keeping the pearl of the Divine Mother clear until it reaches the crown of illumination. Now, illumination and the ray of wisdom is not by any means a delicate ray. It is piercing with the authority of the Godhead and with the authority of the Christ mind. I think in laying the foundation for the planetary victory and for our own purification, we are so wont to concentrate on the blue energies of the will of God and the violet flame, and then the clearing of force fields, that possibly the attention to the yellow and the pink flame are pushed to the last, and sometimes they are not given. Naturally, the clearing of the aura by the violet flame and by the energies of the will of God clears the way for the surging of the fount of illumination and love in the heart. And without that clearing, the threefold flame cannot expand. So it is in order to do this. I would like to see, however, if we can use the time of this course to accelerate the action of the wisdom ray and accelerate the concentrated energies of the crystal of the mind of God that has been given to us, the jewel, in the thought form of the year. The Brothers of the Golden Robe are intended to be the teachers of mankind. It is an order of devotees who make it their business to carry in their auras the wisdom of the ages, to impart it to teachers, to impart it to all who will listen. In that focus over Kashmir, there's a library containing all of the books on the sacred mysteries, on science, on culture, but mainly the wisdom teachings of the ages are located there. When your aura becomes saturated with wisdom's fire, it precipitates as a golden robe. And the golden robe is the inevitable outcropping of your own inner attainment. And therefore, you force membership in the order of the golden robe by the action of your own aura. When the divine nature is properly understood, then, how easily humanity can bring forth the Antakarana, and thus begin the process of correctly weaving their life manifestation. The Antakarana is the web of life, and it is the points on which we build a web. It is the pattern, the matrix of the aura. It's like the spirit aspect, like the skeleton of the aura. And you can think of a spider's web, and think of a web spanning the entire cosmos. The Antakarana is the skeleton, and on it hangs the essence of the mother, the body of the mother. So when you acknowledge the Christ dwelling in you, you have the vital energies of Alpha with which to begin the process of bringing forth the Antakarana. It's the framework of your aura. Now, as man studies the science of perfecting the aura, he should also understand that through the misqualification of thought and feeling, many undesirable traits are brought into manifestation. Most dangerous of all is misqualification in the emotional body of man, in the feeling world, for thereby the heart is touched and in turn often sways the whole life record of the individual into a miasma of doubt and questioning. The misqualification of emotional energies can come upon you as suddenly as a cloud covering the sun. One moment you're joyous in the flame, you have the hope of the resurrection, you believe in God, and suddenly the cloud of the mass consciousness comes. It triggers the doubt and fear that is in the subconscious of your being, and suddenly your aura is filled. It's taken on the colorations of doubt and fear. Did you ever notice how, if you impart prematurely your inner plans of light and your inner devotions and your seeing of the masters, and you tell people about them, they'll come back to you immediately, doubting and fearing and condemning and questioning and telling you it's all wrong. And by the time you're finished talking with them, you're not sure where you stand. Your whole aura takes in their substance. Now, children are subject to the mass misqualifications of the emotional or astral body of the planet. And you'll notice how they change from moment to moment. They're happy, and then they cry, and then they fight with each other, and then they're happy again. They do not have that emotional mastery. They're learning it. And we have to guard them. from these violent reactions and changes. And when they allow these to occur, and we allow them to occur by not disciplining our children, then they become prey to entities and discarnates that reinforce these mood energies, these emotional. And therefore, you can never excuse children on the basis that they're under attack, or they're tired, or they're this, or they're that. You have to bring them into alignment with love. You have to bring them into alignment sometimes by distracting them and getting them into harmony by the distraction. But at other times, you have to point blank challenge the spiral and tell them this must stop. And the way I do it is I'll sit my child down and I'll say, now this is discordant energy and we do not have this in the Master's house. Sit down and call on the law of forgiveness. So we will repeat after Mother, in the name of the Christ, in the name of the Christ. I call on the law of forgiveness, I call on the law of forgiveness for all misqualified energy, for all misqualified energy. And the recognition of what discord is, if it can be trained in a child from early age, will stay with the child. The child will at least know when he is being discordant and when he is not, which is a big step. Most people in the world have no idea what even the difference is between a pure and a muddied stream of energy. We find that when children get completely unmanageable, and when I'm talking about children, you know, I'm really talking about your four lower bodies that you have to bring up in the light. But I'm giving you an objective analysis so that you can picture this. When they get completely out of hand and the whole place is into bedlam, you know that the entities and the demons are running wild and running free among them. And the only way to stop it is to sit them down in a circle and make them decree with you and give the calls to Archangel Michael. They have to make the call so that the Masters can intercede.